of intimidating when you're 5, and there's a panel of people, and you have to run through your repertoire, and you know that, I mean, I've never been a competitive sports person, but it's similar because you're just waiting for that Polish judge to go, you know, 5-2. I thought I was going to come to a school and everybody was going to like play songs and jam, and I could meet some really cool kids, and, you know, the boys are 16 years old, which was totally right for me at 5, you know. And of course, then I thought that what you do with 16-year-old boys is, you know, play music, hold hands, and eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. That was love for me. But I realized as I got accepted and as I went that it was very much about training you to be a champion, but not on your terms, not as an individual necessarily. I really wanted to play the music I wanted to play, and I wanted to be a composer. Because I knew, come on, you're walking down these hallways and you're going, bloody hell, these people are 10 times better than I am, and they're all playing the same song. So why am I even going to waste my time? This piece is 23 pages. Do you realize, like, how many Scooby-Doo episodes I'm going to miss if I learn this?
I never was a cornflake girl. Thought there was a good solution hanging with the raisin girl. She's gone to the other side, giving us a yo-yo. Things are getting kind of gross, then I go with sleepy time. This is not a really this is not a really happening. You bet your life.
I was always playing, but I think one time that was really hard and embarrassing to remember. There was some talent night at the Geyer's house. They were our neighbors. And there was this girl, Susie Geyer, who I punched in the nose a couple years before this, prior, because she had talked bad about my mother. She was 2 years older than I was. And, you know, she knew everything about everything. And she was very smart and very talented and all that. So, talent night, the weird thing is, Susie comes out and plays this little pissant song, you know, and the house goes wild for her. I mean, just wild. And I'm going, you know, they've never gone wild for me like that. And I'm up and down the piano, you know, tying my shoes behind my head while I'm playing Mozart and stuff. So, guess what I did? I played her piece, but not as well. I mean, you know, I'd only heard it through the doorway. Everybody was just standing there so embarrassed, but they didn't get that nothing I could do was ever enough, ever. So I figured if I could play Susie's song that they all loved, that maybe it would be enough. And I just remember running as fast as I could from those people, from the piano, from Susie, from music, from everything.
So I ran faster, but it caught me. Yes, my loyalty stand like my anger in the southern creek, running after the bully, running after the rain. These precious things, let them be, let them wash away these precious things.
I've never seen him so sad. He said, well, what am I going to do? Because you were doing so well when you were 5, and here you are at 13. And it's all just kind of ground to a halt. And he said, get dressed, put on your sister's clothes, and let's go. And we went to the bar room, as he calls it. And he got me a job that night. There was a woman named Tori who was a prostitute. And she was like one of my favorite people. And she would come and sit around the piano bar. And I think I remember her song. as time goes by. She'd come in for like a double scotch or something. In between tricks, she'd always leave me a tip. She'd always put money in my tip jar. And she didn't even have to say, you know, will you play it for me?
They still say I love you, oh, but you can rely. No matter what the future brings, as time goes. Then you'd say, hey Miriam, get Terry another double scotch.
Playing in bars since I was 13, at a certain point I'd taken it as far as I could. I mean, I just needed new influences. So I went to LA. I screwed up, sorry. It's a funny thing making a record and it dying a horrible death. Our music was quite different than what the album was, because once we got signed, it was like change this, change that. And I didn't stand up for the band. I let it happen. I was doing it for the wrong reasons at that point. I'd just been told so many times that what I really wanted to do was never going to happen, and this girl and the piano thing, just forget about it. You know, I'm not saying that girls with boosties and spiked hair, I mean, obviously some of them did really, really well, but I just couldn't pull it off. I just decided to try and take the piano to a place for me in the best way I could, and that's how the songs started to come for Little Earthquakes.
Every finger in the room is pointing at me. I want to spit in their faces, and I get afraid of what that could bring. I got a bowling ball in my stomach, I got a desert in my mouth. Figures that my courage would choose to sell out now. I've been looking for a savior in these dirty streets, looking for a savior beneath these dirty sheets. I've been raising up my hands, dropping on the knees.
I had played Little Earthquakes to Doug Morris, who was the head of Atlantic Records at the time. And he looked at me and he said, "What is this? You did not give me Rocket Man." And I'm like, well, of course I didn't give you Rocket Man. Somebody already wrote that song.
Why do we cruise by ourselves every day? I cruise by myself. Nothing I do is good enough for you. Cruising by myself every day. I cruising by myself. My heart is sick of being in. I said my heart is sick of being in. Cheats, I am cheating.
Something really clicked in me when I discovered Led Zeppelin. And you have to understand what that did for me, because first of all, oh my God, besides the guitar playing, which was, you know, I wanted to be Jimmy Page. That's what I really wanted to be, but I wanted to be with Robert Plant. Just the way he'd move his body and the sensuality. I mean, I just knew I found the goddess. That was it. And the highlight happened when I was in New York City, and I think Johnny said to me, "There's a phone call for you in the bathroom." Obviously, you know you have success when there are phones in the bathroom. So I tootled on into the bathroom. I pick up the phone going, "Hi," and he goes, "Tori, darling, it's Robert." I went, "Robert? Robert from NBC?" He goes, "No, darling, Robert Plant, darling." I'm like, and you know, I couldn't like scream and tell anybody, so I looked at myself in the mirror something I never do. And went, Robert Plant's on the phone. And I have to tell you, you know, whiskers, it was just a real moment for me.
This is not a really this is not a really happening. You bet your life it is. You bet your life it is. Honey, you bet your life it's a pure. Otherwise would just pure. Otherwise would. No, say, there was a cornflake girl.
My father said to me, you know, what would you have written about if I would have been a dentist? Which is fair enough. I think that having had so much Christian doctrine shoved down my throat, you know, some of it tasted good. Like, I thought Jesus was sort of like Jimi Hendrix. You know, there is that comparison. He had these really radical ideas for the time. But how, as I studied and I started to get books when I was 13 and really study, I said, Dad, why are we so controlled and why do we feel so much shame? This is not what this rebel was talking about. And as I started to study, I really opened myself up to a lot of different belief systems. My dad really wanted me to write religious music, and he got his wish, I guess. After Boys for Pele, the tour, we were really excited because I was pregnant. And I was just going to take time off. Time away from music, time away from what I've been doing my whole life and see what it feels like to be a mom. The morning that I lost the baby, it was like slow motion. And everything was so out of my control. I remember going in with Mark, and the nurse was so wonderful. And she said to me, let's just make this okay and see what's going on. Your music has really been there for me, and I want to be there for you, and let's go. And within a couple seconds, I hear her cry. And she said, I'm so sorry, Tori and Mark, you've lost your baby. And in that moment, I don't know what happens where souls go, but I really realized the depth of love that I had for this little being. And thank God for music, because I really had a very hard time taking the next step. And like always, the songs seemed to find me.
She's coming, she can hold back a glacier, but she couldn't keep baby alive, doubting if there's a woman in there somewhere. Here you say,
I don't know where she is, this little being, this little spirit, but I feel her presence, and I feel her love, and you know, the songs have become my babies, I guess.
I pray for Jackie Strang. Make me laugh, say no, what you want. You said we were the real thing, so I shall you some more under the love. Hey, Jackie, Jackie, Jackie. Jackie,
Done.